In this tutorial, I'm showing you how you can build a form using Weavely.ai and then have that data power your workflows in Viasocket. I'm going to keep the Weavely part of this tutorial pretty short because I have other tutorials specifically for the form building tool itself, and that's really not the point. The point is setting it up with Viasocket. So we're going to keep it very basic. I need a contact form for my website, ask for somebody's name, email address, and have a box for them to leave a message. So very basic, just a contact form for a website. If you know Weavely, it's going to build a form for us the way we specified, and then we can tweak it so we can change the design and the theme. It doesn't really matter for now. We can go ahead and hit publish, and this will create us a web form, which we can fill out and either collect responses as such, or, and that's the entire point of course, power workflows in Viasocket. So if we dive into Viasocket and create a new flow, in the triggers, you'll see that there are Weavely triggers that you can use. And the one that we'll need for this tutorial, of course, is the new form submission. So we'll keep it very, very basic. Every time a new form submission comes in, we want to send a Slack message, for example, because somebody contacted us. That's the thing that we're going to build. So the first thing is, of course, setting up our connection to Weavely. So if you press that button, you will get a pop-up allowing you to authenticate, so to combine both, and you'll need to enter an API key here. So the thing you need to enter here is something that you can find within Weavely itself. So if you go to your dashboard under settings, you can create personal tokens, which are API keys that you can use for specific tools. So I already created one for Viasocket, but if you need to create a new one, there's a big blue button over there. So I copy my Viasocket token, I head back in and I paste it in. Add the connection, and then this is going to be set up for me. So, okay, a new connection has been successfully added, done. And then in here, we'll be able to choose our theme. And then I'll be able to choose my form. So I have quite a lot of these, but I call this one Viasocket contact form. So it's over here. And then I select that one. So that's the only thing you need to do. You set up the connection by copying the API key. You choose the right theme, you choose the right form. Okay, so let's test this out so that we are sure that the data that comes in is correct. So press test, and what you see is the return from Weavely. So we get the form ID, the response, but also the name, the email, and the message. So the way essentially that our form has been set up. So that's just sample data. Next, of course, is creating our actual workflow. As I said, we're going to keep it simple and just send a direct message via Slack. Choose our Slack connection, of course, and then the users will be I'll be sending it to myself. It's probably the easiest. And within the message content, that's the cool part, I will be able to select the responses of my form. So I could say, for example, hello, and then I'll be using the name. You just got a contact from, and then we'll be using the email address. So I'm doing this for the Slack, but of course, depending on your workflow, you could reuse your form submissions to power a whole bunch of different automations. That's pretty much it for our Slack message. So we're going to get ahead, press save, and then go live with this flow. Yes, I am sure. Okay, and now every time that a new contact is added to our form, we'll get a Slack message. So we'll say tests, and then it's going to be test@test.com. And the message doesn't really matter because we're not using that in our automation. And if I now head on over to Slack, you can see here the day I just got this message, hello, test, you got a contact from, and then the email address that we left. So this is essentially how you build a form using AI, using Weavely.ai, and then use Viasocket as a workflow automation tool to power a whole bunch of different automations inside your company or inside your freelancing business.